back in the base. What the hell is a scribe doing out here? Anyhow. Thank God. This should be, God willing, this should be the last and final time that I have to visit this freaking Brotherhood base, which is, I mean, it's not that this place is really all that bad, but it is a little bit out of the way, and let's face it, there is a balancing issue here in New Vegas in the fact that if you want to use power armor, which is the most powerful in the game, you really have to go out of your way to be able to use it. Here we go, McNamara. Let's talk to McNamara, and he should give me power armor access.
Greetings, my friend. I hope I can be of some assistance to you.
Well, I'm certain you'll have plenty to say to me, McNamara, as I've installed the device at the top of Black Mountain, as per instructed.
Yes, we've already started receiving telemetry from it. This will be a great help in our future efforts, and I thank you. Now then, it is my great honor to bestow upon you the title of Paladin of the Brotherhood, for meritorious service above and beyond the call of duty. I'm afraid a formal ceremony was out of the question, given our current state, but I hope this will make up for it. I had the Knights refurbish a suit of our power armor for your use. It's one of the earlier models, but it should serve you well. Now, I suppose I'm going to have to show you how to use it, aren't I?
Wait, I just don't put it on?
If only it were that simple. Think of power armor as a machine to be operated, rather than clothing you'd wear. With a little instruction, using it becomes as natural as simple movement. But to the ignorant, it's just so much heavy junk. So let's bring you up to speed, shall we?
Well, I'm ready to learn.
First, let's go over how to put it on. There. I think you've got the knack of it now. You should now be able to wear any kind of power armor you come across. I've also given the order that all of our equipment be made available to you, not just the more mundane arms. You're a member of the Brotherhood now, and your gear should reflect that. Lastly, you will be allowed to come and go as you please. You've done so much for us that to do otherwise would be a crime. I just ask that you keep the Brotherhood's interests at heart in all your dealings. Remember that you will always have a home here.
Thanks much, McNamara. Before I move on... Hey, Raul. We're in a safe place. How about we have a bit of a chat?
You really enjoy dragging me into situations where I get shot at, don't you, boss?
Huh. Whatever you say, Raul. We haven't been together that long. Besides, we're completely safe down here. So, how about we have a bit of a chat? Tell me about yourself.
Sure, boss. What do you want to know?
Well, just who are you?
You forget about me already, boss? You sure you didn't take a blow to the head or something? My name is Raul Alfonso Tejada.
Well, I know that your name is Raul, but there must be more than that.
Boss, usually when somebody gives you a name and nothing else, it's because that's all they want to give you.
Okay. Maybe there's something else you'd care to share with me.
I'm an open book, boss. Granted, the book's in Spanish and some of the pages have fallen out, but I'm an open book.
Well, where are you from?
I was born just outside Mexico City. My family had a little ranch there.
And what about your age? How old are you?
Old enough to know better, boss. Old enough to know better.
Okay. What about Black Mountain? How did you end up stuck up there?
Well, boss, when a giant, insane super mutant asks you to stay put, you do what you're told. Well, maybe you don't. But I'm just a broke-down old man.
Well, how did Tabitha find you in the first place?
It's stupid, boss. I used to listen to the radio broadcast, just to pass the time. Well, one day the signal stopped, so I figured I'd try to find a transmitter. I'm a pretty good repairman. Or I was before my eyes started to go. Anyway, I found Black Mountain and offered my services. But Tabitha decided I was useful enough to keep around. Permanently.
Oh, so that's how it played out. You said you're a repairman, though? Oh, do you have any other skills? I want to play to your strengths.
I'm not much use besides being a portable encyclopedia, really. I guess you could use me as a pack Brahmin. But my knees aren't so good anymore.
Oh, come on, I don't believe that. You're a ghoul, you've been around for quite some time. Chances are you've got some skills.
That's nice of you to say, boss. But I'm an old man. Not much use to anybody anymore. Time was. I was a pretty good shot with a pistol. I guess I'm still half decent. These old bones aren't much use in hand-to-hand fighting, though. I can also do maintenance work on your stuff. I don't have the supplies for a real repair job, but I can keep your gear working longer.
Well, don't be so down on yourself. Lots of older people are still useful to their friends and communities.
Yeah, maybe you can introduce them to me, if we find them, because I've never met one.
Huh. What about the Mojave as a whole? Would you mind answering questions about that?
Questions, boss? You mean you don't know everything there is to know already?
Yeah, very funny, Raul. Most important. Do you know anything about a goon named Benny? Wears a checkered coat, carries a big pistol.
Benny, huh? Sorry, boss. Doesn't ring a bell. Then again, my brain isn't as sharp as it used to be.
Not too surprised. Wasn't expecting to find anything new out anyway. Next question. What about the NCR? What's your take on them?
They're alright, I suppose. Had a bit of tough going there at the beginning. You know their first town was nearly wiped out by raiders. Anyway, they got their good points and their bad. Just like a lot of the old governments from before the war.
Wait, before the war? How old are you, Raul? What do you know about Mr. House?
Just how old do you think I am, boss? Because I can pretty much guarantee I'm older than that. Let me tell you a story from before the Great War. Everybody knew Robert House. He was a genius, a superstar. Founded Raulco at 22. Dated Hollywood starlets, the works. They say he saved Las Vegas. I was in Mexico City when the bombs dropped. Even from there, we could see House's defensive rockets shooting down the incoming missiles. Everybody assumed he died in the war. Maybe he did. But his robots are still out there roaming the waste. And now, a Mr. House rules New Vegas.
There might be a connection. Is there anything else you can remember about Robert House?
I remember there were some weird stories about him, especially near the end. There was a tell-all in El Periódico de las Aburridas by a starlet House dated. She said they never, don't make me spell it out, boss. Anyway, she said all he wanted to do was scan her brain and make her dress up in different outfits.
That is really bizarre.
It was quite the scandal, at least in the Latin American tabloid journalism market.
You don't really think that the House of then is the same house now, do you?
Maybe not. Maybe the new guy is just a clever raider chief with knowledge of history. Maybe he just left instructions for his robots to carry out in his name. Or maybe Robert House uploaded his brain pattern into a computer and rules to this day a godless, soulless machine god. Maybe the whole thing's a crazy coincidence. Who knows?
On the topic of House, though, what do you know about New Vegas?
It's big, it's bright, and it's one of the biggest cities still left from before the war. Well, mostly anyway. Used to be just a curiosity. The buildings were pre-war, but it's just as full of raiders and barbarian tribes as any place else. Then Mr. House took over, got the power turned back on, and got the tribes reformed into something civilized. And now they run his casinos for him.
Oh. The mystery of House just gets deeper. There's one other group that I need to ask you about. How do you feel about Caesar's Legion?
I don't really have a problem with them. People around here tend to see them as invading marauders planning to burn and pillage the countryside. But I've been to Arizona, boss. Before the Legion, it was a nasty place. So thick with raiders you couldn't trade with a town 2 miles up the road. Caesar's laws aren't nice, and their actions aren't always pretty. But then neither am I. But you keep me around.
Well, Raul, I think we've jot enough. Let's get a move on. Need to sell some stuff off, and there's a particularly dangerous place we need to visit. Hope you're still good with a gun.
Anything you say, boss.
I seem to have crippled my arm. Oh, but it was so... Oh, ooh. Oh, God, I love this thing. I think that's all of them. Oh, jeez. Oh, this is the first time that I've ever legitimately used a good Fat Man, because there are like only 6 or 8 shots for the Fat Man in the base game. So, the fact that this thing, let's see, let me... Ah, crap, I'm out of doctor's bags. Oh, I'll just deal with it. Come
Right
with
behind.
me. Okay, so, I've never used, this particular version of the Fat Man, Esther, or, yeah, Esther, you know, which is added by the GRA mod, and GRA, oh my god, GRA is so freaking awesome. Granted, you know, a lot of people wanted me to do a guide over, the Gunrunner's Arsenal DLC, because it adds so many guns, but I looked at it and I was like, you know, it's completely pointless. Okay, so, here's half of the reason why I came here. The, T-51B, and this is the other reason. This dead prospector has a bunch of good stuff, but amongst all of it, the Remnants power armor. So now that I have the ability to wear power armor, I'm going to pick these guns up off the floor too. I'm going to put this on. Oh, actually, Raul. Let's swap some stuff.
I expect to be awed by your dizzying mercantile sense, boss.
There we go. Okay, so now Raul is wearing the really, really kick-ass stuff. And I'm going to put on... Did I miss one of these guys back here? Oh, looks like I didn't. Oh, yep, I did. Sure enough. Alright, so... Ah, crap. Well, the Stealth Boy's still active. I'll look at myself whenever the Stealth Boy wears off. The power armor is only available in 2 instances. The hard one to get is right here, and it does not have a helmet, but the version with the helmet you get by completing the quest, for Onling Sign. I know I'm saying that wrong. And Arcade Ganon, who is another follower. So my Stealth Boy wore off here, and you can see I am wearing the special power armor from the Enclave. This stuff is awesome. Looks fantastic. Woohoo! Look at me. Alright, sweet stuff. Okay, geez, this has been one heck of a detour. Now I'm gonna go ahead and, take my butt down to Cottonwood Cove. It's about time that I finally meet with Caesar. Cottonwood. I haven't been back here in ages. Actually, now that I think about it, it is possible for me to go up into that truck up on the cliff there, I think, and release a radiation bomb on Cottonwood Cove, which is payback for what the Legion did to Searchlight, which is a town that I haven't been to in ages. At least in this series, I haven't been to it in ages. I think it's further to the south, and it's definitely more to the west than where I am right now. Anyway, who is it? There's some sort of a legionnaire down here that I need to talk to get out to the fort, so... Oh my god, they're all duplicates. 3 of them. And the one behind him.
True to Kaisar.
Hey.
Awe, are you ready to head upriver?
Maybe. Who are you?
I am Cursar Lucullus, and my orders are to escort you to the Legion's camp at Fortification Hill. Are you ready to go?
What'll happen at the fort?
You'll be meeting face-to-face with the mighty Kaisar himself, founder of the Legion, conqueror of 86 tribes. To my knowledge, this is the first time Kaisar has ever summoned one of the dissolute to see him. Not even tribal chieftains receive this honor.
Who are you calling dissolute?
All who are not Legion are dissolute. They live in squalor, unrestrained by morality, lacking moderation, temper, and self-control. Their very existence is a blight on the common good. Even worse are the profligates, the subtype of dissolute one finds this side of the river. They hold themselves to be civilized, when in fact they are corrupt and self-interested. The truth will be made clear to them soon enough.
And what have I done to deserve this honor?
You'd know better than I would. but you must be remarkable for Caesar to take such an interest.
All right, then. Let's go.
The trip will take a few hours. Take your place on the boat.